I need to go back and just say this briefly with the person with the reviews. I was a lot more frustrated with it because he was trying to poach him as a client overall, right? And he would create issues on the site. He also started becoming responsible for blog posts, and he wouldn't put the page titles and descriptions when he uploaded the blog post. So then he would run a report a week or two later and be like, "Hey, I noticed that you've got some page title and description errors." And for a while, I couldn't figure it out. And it wasn't until I looked at his report, because he also would not share the report, in fact. He would send a video of him reviewing a report. He would not send the actual report. He never sent the report. Or he would send screenshots of the stuff he talked about in the video of him reviewing the report. And I'm like, tell him to send you the actual report, man. He has it. You can screenshot it, you can send it. And unless my client doesn't want it, they get a copy, right? Because I ain't
Mhm.
got nothing to hide. Even if things are bad, it's okay because that's a part of marketing, right? We got to be able to pivot. We got to be able to get things, we have to be able to right the ship. And again, it shouldn't be all good. Definitely shouldn't be all bad. But when the bad stuff comes up, you got to be able to work through it. So yeah,
Okay. There's a lot to unpack there. So I'm going to go
yeah,
back
yeah.
and we're going to walk through this because there are so many different things for so many different people that I want them to be able to get their piece so that they know what to be able to do with that. So, one, we started talking about the fact that someone stepped in, and matter of fact, let's start with the most recent and work our way back. So, when we're talking about earning trust and being able to work with different partners, one of the things that stood out in what you were breaking down is one, this person was taking videos and he wasn't actually giving you the reports. I can tell you as someone that decades worth of experience of being an account manager and knowing what reports need to be run, knowing what metrics we need to be able to show a client, from being on the publisher side where I knew we had to give the agency something, and the agency, I could give the agency metrics and say, okay, here's what's going on. And their thing is, no, 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 that doesn't align with the narrative that we sold the client on. So we need
Right.
you to change the metrics and change the report so that it aligns with what we're telling them. And in some cases, it's like, okay, but what you're telling them isn't what they're actually like. I remember the RFP. I remember what their goal is, and you're not actually addressing their goal. You're addressing how you're going to be able to extend that contract.
Hmm.
So it stood out to me when you said that. I also want to cover what happens where, if you do go out to someone else and you had someone who was stable that you could trust, and then that new salesperson comes in or that new business comes in and tries to poach you away. I need to cover this part. What was it like when they came back? Were they still charged the same rate? Because if you had to fix and undo what they did, what was the experience and like for you, and what was the experience like for them? We heard what it was like for you, the extra work that they created, but what was it like for them? Because in my mind, I'm gonna have to charge you to undo the things that they did. So I want to cover that
Well,
part too.
to be fair, because we have the relationship that we have. Uh, he brought me back once he fired them. I didn't have to say anything. He said, "I'm gonna pay you more,"
Okay.
and he was paying them more. Right? He was already paying them more, so he's like, "I'm gonna pay you more because I realized the error in my ways." Right? But that was my intention anyway. Right? Was gonna tell him we got to up the price because he had the same price forever, and now I'm doing more work. Right? Because I got to undo some of this stuff. Um, but yeah, I think that definitely if someone breaks your trust, right? Because we also have a trust factor, right? As the agency. So if someone's willing to break your trust and go chase a shiny object, they should not be able to come back the same way that they left, especially if you have to fix their problems now.